let's kind of preview the Pistons taking on the Knicks. I know the Pistons kind of been getting the best of the Knicks the last couple times they played them. Cade is having a monster year in general, but a great one versus the Knicks. And, the series, is just going to, they know each other well. Playoffs will always come down to half-court basketball, half-court defense, half-court offense, turnovers, maximizing your fast break points, and then on the other end, minimizing the fast break points. First two games to be at MSG. It's going to be lit. But the Pistons got a few problems they have to fix and overcome. And some of them, it's just as you go. Experience as you go, they got to figure it out. But what, and I talk about what favors them, but what they need to fix, they can't really overcome experience. You only can get that by playing in the playoffs. But their biggest issue was Karl Anthony Towns. That's their biggest issue. They need to find a way to slow him down. Whether it's playing a little bit more Paul Reed, they got to slow him down. It's forcing him to take jumpers. It's forcing him to catch on the perimeter and drive and take charges. But that's the one person that they really don't have an answer for. Is Cat. So, I think other than experience, Cat is their number one problem. Playoff experience, can shoot it. But if you really want to pick your poison, I'd rather a 7-foot dude shoot it. I'd rather him shoot the ball than get on the block and offensively dominate the paint. So Jalen Duren is going to have to bring his A game defensively. I don't know what the game plan going to be. Is it going to be double? He's going to be playing one-on-one. It's going to be to push him to the perimeter and hopefully settle for jump shots. Is he going to let him get his and stay home on everybody else? But you can't let him get going and have Brunson get going, especially at the Garden. It becomes infectious, turnovers. That's what Schroeder's. You're going to start seeing Schroeder at critical moments handle the ball a lot more. They got to protect the basketball. So yeah, you start seeing Schroeder, handle the basketball a little bit more. But turnovers, fouls, be a little bit more physical. That'll be in their favor. Playoff basketball, get a little bit more physical. But, what you're worried about is the turnovers and Karl Anthony Towns. So it's the main thing you're worried about. And if you're the Knicks, I think Josh Hart said it best. Just worried about the Pistons, not having no pressure on them. So if you're gonna need the Pistons can play free, and they're not expected to win a series. They're not expected to go far. So if they can play free, all the pressure on the Knicks. They missed out on the Eastern Conference Finals by losing to the upstart Indiana Pacers last year. They got the big payroll from Cat to Brunson to OG to Mikal Bridges to Josh Hart. They got all these high-profile players over there, so they posed to win. In reality, they posed to sweep the Pistons. So they got a lot of pressure on them, but they've been here before. And they're going to come up with a game plan to stop Cade Cunningham. So it's going to be up to Beasley. It's going to be up to, Asar Thompson, Ron Hollins, Tim Hardaway Jr. It's going to be up to Schroeder. Schroeder not only just going to have to be a ball protector, he's going to have to be, he's going to have to be a scorer. Schroeder going to have to score the basketball. That's kind of where you miss Jaden Ivey. You miss that next scorer, the next guy that can get you a bucket, the next guy that can get you 20. That's what made them so powerful when Ivey was playing, because he started to shoot the ball, he can get you 20. Beasley getting you 20. So really, in this series, you need more scoring. You're going to need more scoring. Whether it's going to be getting it as a collective, some from Duren, which he got his hands filled with Cat. You're going to get some from, you need a lot from Tobias. You're going to need a lot from Tim. You're going to need a lot more from Schroeder, but what you're going to get from Beasley and Cade. But other than that, you need scoring. And that's where the Pistons lack at. But that's where Schroeder can help at. That's where Tim Hardaway Jr. can help at. So as a collective, where they're going to take turns scoring the basketball, that's where they lacking at. This is when you start hearing, oh, you miss Ivy. That's what you know. And like I said, they should have been prepping Sasser because he, even though he may turn the ball over, he's not a defensive liability, but he can get hot quick. They can get hot quick. They need scoring in bunches, and he can provide it. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm just sleepy, but yeah, playoff basketball, half court basketball should be interesting. Knicks been here before, Pistons haven't, but they gotta maximize some fast break points too. If you get a fast break point, man, opportunity, you gotta cash in on it because they come few far in between. You gotta understand what sets we gonna call at the end of the games. If they're gonna take away Cade, we going to Beasley. We ain't gonna Beasley in there, then we're gonna swing it to Harris. We're gonna swing it to Harris. So they gotta have answers. But I think Schroeder is, if they're gonna be competitive in this series and win it, it's gonna be because of Schroeder. It's gonna be Schroeder protecting the ball, distributing the ball, and he's gonna have to score it. He's gonna have to score it. Hollins, they all these guys are capable defenders. From Hollins, to Asar, to Tobias, to Duran when he got his head on straight. Okay, everybody can defend. That's the beauty of the Pistons. So that defense got to be there. When them shots ain't falling, you got to defend. So I think it's going to be an entertaining series. I think it's a series where it's going to get a lot of eyes on them. Starting on Easter. I don't know when the series started, but the playoffs start around Easter. It's going to be a lot of eyes on them. So they really can mark the Piston brand as back. So. But if I'm being totally honest, I'd probably take the Knicks 4-1. I just think they've been there before. They seasoned. I think, the Pistons not having another scorer next to Beasley and Cade Cunningham, that's ultimately going to hurt you in half-court situations. If they had Ivy and Cade was able to, grow together, they probably wouldn't even be in the fifth spot, to be honest, the sixth spot, to be honest, but I would have a different outlook on it. But I say the Knicks, I think they get one. I think the Pistons get one. I think the Knicks they might be all competitive games, kind of like when we played Cleveland in the last playoff series or whatever that was. No, the time we played them with Reggie and them. I think it might be that type of competitive, but I think the Pistons just ain't going to be able to skip that experience gap. And I think next year you'll see some, shuffling around the roster. Probably bring somebody in next year. They get to taste the blood, and hopefully, they fiend for more. But I like the Knicks in this series. Fairly easy, to the 4-1. But I think it'll be competitive basketball, though. But hey, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, the whole 9. Peace.